I don't care how smart somebody is. I don't care how much they know, how many facts and figures they can spit off to you. It is still just a grain compared to the total amount of knowledge that is out there. And there's so much wisdom and there's so much experience. One person simply can't have very much of it to themselves, not compared to the total store that's available. I just finished up at the gym. I'm feeling pretty good. Got a nice little pump in my chest and in my back. And so we're going to jump in today. We're going to be talking about smarts. And are smarts the be all end all for your success in life? In other words, do you really have to be super smart in order to achieve success? I mean, is that really the key? So let's address that question today. This is Mark Johnson. I am the founder of Bounce Pep, bringing you ideas for a fit and flourishing future. And I am the youngest son of Bill Johnson. Thank you for being a subscriber. If you haven't subscribed, I'm still happy to have you here, and I hope that you do subscribe. I'm trying to bring some value to you. So let's just jump right in here. Okay, now, smarts, I will say this: smarts don't hurt. If you have some smarts, if you have some intelligence, that's a good thing. But I want to also point out that I don't think that smarts are necessarily the most important thing when it comes to whether or not you reach that higher level, achieve that goal, achieve that success that you're looking for. And the reason is this, and you might have guessed it from the title of this message. If you know someone who is extremely smart, and it may even be you. You may be an extremely intelligent person. You may have an extraordinary education. You may know a lot relative to other people about a lot of things, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But just understand that no matter how much you or anyone else that you know, or anyone else that you don't know personally but know of, okay, no matter how much any one of us knows, it is still but a tiny pebble, basically a grain amongst the total store of knowledge in the universe. I don't care how smart somebody is. I don't care how much they know, how many facts and figures they can spit off to you. It is still just a grain compared to the total amount of knowledge that is out there. Okay. And so even the smartest people that we know can still be clueless about most things. Let that sink in for a second. The smartest people, the people with the widest breadth of knowledge that any of us know, can still be clueless about most things because there is simply so much knowledge out there in the universe, in the world, okay? And there's so much wisdom and there's so much experience. One person simply can't have very much of it to themselves, not compared to the total store that's available. So I hope that makes sense to you. Now, where am I going with this? Because there is so much knowledge available, and because you, as someone who is trying to level up and really focus on getting to that next point in your life where you're making a difference and you're doing big things and you're having an impact, you have to be able to do something called filter out all of the background noise. And this can be difficult because, as I said, there is so much knowledge to be gained out there. But I want you to think of this. How do you accomplish anything if you are erratic? Erraticism won't get you there. You've got to do something called focus. Focus requires a bit of clarity. Now, I am pretty sure that you're the type of person who is certainly not afraid to spend some of your financial resources on educating yourself, gaining more knowledge, and I certainly hope that you continue to do that throughout the rest of your life. There are two ways that you can go about this. Now, if you're like me, I'm naturally just curious about a lot of different things. And so, I have a propensity or a tendency to just seek knowledge and read up, and I'll spend my money to learn about a lot of different things. But I'm also aware of the fact that I need clarity and I need to be able to focus. And so, what I want to recommend that you do is, first of all, I want you to keep investing in yourself. Okay, don't just be out having fun. Having fun is important sometimes, don't get me wrong, but keep investing in yourself. And I mean literally putting your money into yourself, okay? Just like you would do with your kids. When you spend money to educate them, you should be putting money into yourself as well, right? Now, but there are two ways you can do it. Again, you can be very general or you can be more focused. Now, here's what I would recommend, because like me, if you're anything like me and you're interested in a lot of different things, sometimes you have to rein yourself in. Okay, if you want to make progress on something important in your life, like a definite goal that you want to achieve, then it's okay to have a certain amount of your financial resources that you're spending on just general education, just and general kind of training and general learning and general experiences that do make you smarter at some things. But I also want you to spend perhaps a more significant portion of the money that you invest in yourself on something specific that you need to accomplish now, because that's how you really make progress. Is you have to identify the obstacles in your life right now, and you have to be willing to invest your financial resources into solving or overcoming those obstacles so that you can continue to progress. Okay. And so this is why I made the point about erraticism. Don't be so unfocused and just so interested in everything everywhere that you're not actually paying attention, gaining clarity on what must be done now, and putting some resources into solving that problem. So when you're spending money on courses and some of you are going to masterminds and all this other stuff, retreats and all that stuff, make sure, especially if it's something that is relatively high ticket, make sure that it's going to help you resolve a problem that you're facing right now so that you can get over that hump. Okay, and you can have some other things that you're investing in at the same time in terms of gaining knowledge and upgrading your knowledge, but always be focused on what has to be done now as well. And I would argue that you should maybe devote a larger portion of your resources to that thing. Okay. So this is my kind of pointer to you, because when you're erratic and you don't have clarity, you can learn a lot of things about, different areas of life and everything, but it's not necessarily going to help you out because you're a jack of all trades and you're not focusing, and you're just not hitting the mark that you need to hit right now to actually move the needle. Okay. So I hope that that made some sense for you. And this was just a really short message because I wanted to talk a little bit about knowledge. That is one of the five parts of the total package, right? Is knowledge, and specifically the application of knowledge. And one of the reasons that I want you to really focus on learning about something that you need to, figure out now is because when you need to figure something out now and get it done, then that knowledge, you're going to take it and you're going to apply it immediately. What happens a lot of times when we're just doing general learning, just out of curiosity about random things, is we'll we you know we get the knowledge, but we don't really learn it, so to speak, because we don't have anywhere to apply it immediately. Okay. And so when you have that sense of clarity, that allows you to focus on fixing or solving or addressing a particular problem that you're facing right now that you must solve to get over the hump. What happens is everything that you learn, you start immediately trying to apply it. Now, it doesn't mean that it's all going to work, but the purpose of application is to take what you have gained in knowledge, actually apply it to whatever the problem is and see if it actually works. You may have to make adjustments after that. You may have to seek a different solution. You may have to go after, some other bit of knowledge someplace else, some other training, some whatever, maybe some coaching, whatever it is. But the point is, when you have that clarity and that focus, then it gives you that sense of urgency that you need to apply knowledge right now. Knowledge needs to be applied, okay? So, with that said, just understand you don't have to be great at everything to be a success. I know that there are some people that are out here in this world and they're really great seemingly in a lot of different things, and that's fine. More power to them. I mean, people who are multifaceted like that and really have some expertise and some, a lot of ability in multiple areas, they're to be commended. But the truth of the matter is, in order to be great, you only really need to know a lot about one thing. And that's the flip side about what I said early. The smartest people among us, despite all of their knowledge and all of their experience, they've only got a grain of the knowledge that's available in the universe, right? But guess what? For those of us who are really on top of our business and we're really about being the best version of ourselves, we don't have to be great at everything. We can be great at one thing. We can pursue focused knowledge actually in one area and be great at that and build a whole life and build a whole success story on one single thing. You see this. There's a principle, or actually it's one of the fundamentals of exercise, and it's called specificity. And what it says is that when you work on a particular muscle group, and this is very easy to understand if you're into weight training, for instance. When you're working on a particular muscle group, then you're not working on another muscle group. You're being very specific about focusing in on that muscle group on that day because you're trying to develop that muscle group. So, this idea of specificity that you use or that you apply when you train, you can apply that, of course, when you're pursuing knowledge outside of the gym. Be specific, be have clarity, be focused, and you'll make great strides. Okay. So that is my message for you today. I just wanted to give you something that will help you be a little bit more focused. I know that there's a lot of information out there. Sometimes it's just too much information and not enough clarity. Okay. But you got to get that clarity, get that focus, marshal your financial resources into investments that help you to level up by being focused in your investments. That's all I'm telling you. Okay. So with that said, let's leave it there. I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time.